Hello and welcome back to the Vicky podcast. As you can see, we're dressed for a special occasion. It's a special occasion today. We have started another lockdown tournament. For those who have watched over the last month or so, whenever we have a lockdown, we tend to all the boys come together and we have a nice little FIFA lockdown tournament. This one is our sixth, I think, but only our second we're going to be doing on this YouTube channel, I believe.
It is.
I'm going to pass you over to the new CEO of these tournaments, Mr. James Brookin, who's going to explain a little bit more.
Thank you, Sam. So to let the viewers know at home, I was given the role of CEO, and I'm more than happy to take it on. I'm happy to give a couple new ideas towards the tournaments and see what we can do to make it interesting and fun for all the boys involved. So we've myself and Sam, who I've elected as my vice CEO, we've been having a bit of back and forth this evening, and we think we've come up with a good tournament for the boys to get their teeth sunk into. So Sam, do you want to tell them about the information of the tournament?
Of course I can, Mr. CEO. The basis of the tournament is we are going to be selecting one player, 80 rated or below, from each of the top 23 nations currently ranked by FIFA, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So I think currently Belgium are ranked number 1 and Austria are ranked 23. So we'll pick one player from each nation in that list, equating to a 23-man squad. We will then be playing with those squads in a FIFA tournament, of which there's going to be 15 games. There's six players? Yeah.
6 players involved.
6 players involved, therefore we'll be playing each other 3 times. So that would be across 3 weeks, I believe. And then there'll be a table, and then depending on where you finish the table, will depend on who you play in the knockout rounds. Top 1 and 2, they get an instant bye through to the semi-finals. And then for the quarterfinals, 3rd place plays 6th, 4th plays 5th. There'll be 2-legged quarterfinals there. Then to lead into the semi-finals, the winner of 3rd v 6th plays 2nd. That finished 2nd in the table.
Yep, that's what we've gone for.
And 4th v 5th, that winner of that quarterfinal, plays 1st. Again, 2-legged affair there. And then the final is between the 2 semi-final winners. Going back to the player format, there will be one exception to the rule of 80 rated, and that will be our captain. Everyone has a chance to pick one 85 rated player or below, depending.
If they want to.
Maximum 85 rated. Fits into the rules, so if you want to pick a German player who's 85 rated, you then can't pick a German 80 rated. So you lose out on picking a low rated German player for your captain pick. And this will also dictate what teams we'll be playing with. I know we'll be changing the squads, but we'll still have the name of the club, the badge and the kits and potentially stadiums. And the way the club captain will dictate what club you're picking would be it's their first professional club that they played for. So, for example, if someone picked Werner, the team that they'd be playing with would be Stuttgart, as that's where it started. I think I had a little look earlier. If you pick Thiago Alcantara, 85 rated, your team would be Flamengo, which is quite interesting. So that would be how you pick your team, or essentially what club colours you'll be playing with. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed?
Minutes.
Minutes, yes. We've done this our 6th tournament, like I said. So we've learnt a lot over the years. For the first couple of tournaments, rotation was an issue from some of the managers. A lot of people enjoyed it, some people didn't. But because we are all choosing the players ourselves this time, hopefully we'll pick 23 players which we'll enjoy playing with. However, we still think there should be a minimum minutes played requirement, and also, first time ever, a maximum minutes. This is only to dictate in the league setups in the group stages. So every player must play a minimum of 360 minutes, so 4 games essentially, and they can only play a maximum of 900 minutes, so 10 games. So this will stop. You can't play a captain the entire way through. You have to not play him for 5 games essentially. So this will give an incentive for full squad rotation. Everyone's going to get a chance, because you never know. You may find that one of your lowest rated players, or a player you picked later on down the line in the draft, may come out and be one of your better players in the knockout stages. So, yeah, that's why we put those rules in place.
Yeah, and I think that's all the information involved in the tournament. But obviously, we've got to come on to now how we're going to select those players, and what we like to do, what we've done a couple of times in these previous tournaments. We've done a draft. So we're going to do a draft format this time. So we're going to go for a snake format, which would mean first, second, third, fourth, and then in the next round it will go fourth, third, second, first. So it'll kind of go back on itself to keep it nice and fair. Now we've done it as where the players finished in the last tournament. So it will stand as first pick will be Lucas, second will be Percy, third pick will be Chug, fourth pick will be Sam, fifth pick will be Ryan, and sixth will be myself. And we're going to go through that, obviously 23 rounds that we've got to get through. The players are going to have 1 minute to make their pick, but obviously whilst the other picks are going on, they can still do their research and line up who they think they're going to want to have next. And we're now going to also introduce a new system to the draft this time. We're going to include a bidding system. Now, it sounds like bidding and we mean like war and stuff, not war, money and stuff like that, but it's going to be a little bit different. So the way it's going to work, if there is a player that I really, really want, and Sam, for whatever reason, picks him first, I can throw one of my bids in there. That then means that it's going to go to a random generator where it will randomize who gets that player. So, for example, I'm trying to think of an 80 rated player off the top of my head. I know David Luiz is. Say Sam wants David Luiz, but I also want David Luiz. I will use one of my 2 bids. I will give my bid. We're then going to randomize it, and the generator will say who gets that player. Now, obviously, you can use this on the much bigger nations, for example. So you could, like we just did with Brazil. But then that means when you get on into the later rounds, where necessarily you might go to countries that aren't have as much depth to their nation, you're then going to struggle because there might be an 80 rated, only one good 80 rated player, and then after that it's 72s and downs. So you've got to play your bids tactically. The only exception of what we're going to say is for the first 4 rounds you cannot use your 2 bids that you're going to be allowed, because it'll keep it nice and fair. I know it's a little bit of a new system. I know there's going to be a lot of questions with it, but I'm hoping that it will add a little bit more of a dynamic to the draft rather than just everyone sitting there doing their research and just seeing how it goes. And like Sam said as well about the playoffs, how we already kind of do it. And we said that we're going to do 15 games across 3 weeks. Now to the boys, obviously we haven't had a chance to chat yet. I'm going to, once this video goes live, hopefully we'll be able to chat about it. But I'd like it if we could have that we have game week, in a sense, even though it'll be on days, game week fixtures. So we'll have week 1, everyone will play on the same day at the same time, so that everyone is able to watch. And I think it just adds more chemistry to the tournament. And like we said, if there is an exception for whatever reason, because I know with lockdown life happens, that a game has to be played on a different day for whatever reason, you still need one spectator at the game who can commentate for the other boys. All games are going to be streamed on Twitch, so any viewers out there who would like to watch the games, you can watch them online and stuff like that as well. Also, as we always say, the away team will stream the game unless for whatever reason internet issues occur, then the other team will take the stream. But yeah, I think that's all the information that we need to do. 6th tournament, my first time at CEO, as a couple of the boys will most likely agree. I'm the first person to ask a lot of questions about the tournament, first person to pick a lot of holes in the tournament. So I look forward to being on that side and experiencing all of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournament and seeing kind of how it goes. And got obviously my vice with me. I think we had a good chat earlier. Like we came up with some solid ideas, and I'm looking forward to what the boys say to this as well. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. So, what do you expect from this tournament? In terms of on the pitch, off the pitch, do you think it'll be an engaging tournament for the players?
I'm hoping so. I am a bit worried that the startup of the tournament does require a lot of research. Otherwise, you can get lost in a rabbit hole in a sort of way that if you don't plan for the nations and you don't do your research, that come draft day, you could come with a squad that you're not very happy with and you don't have the interest in there. But I'm hoping by what day is it today? It's Tuesday. By giving this out now, that the boys have got 4 or 5 days to prepare. And that was the other thing before. Good thing you mentioned it, Sam. We were proposing to do the draft on Saturday or Sunday, and we'll hopefully do this as a podcast as well, so we can put it up onto the channel so everyone can kind of see it through. And if players want to look back at any defining moments as well, then we can see that as well. So yeah, Saturday or Sunday, depending on what is best for the boys and best for the tournament, we'll go from there.
Yeah, and with the draft being either Saturday or Sunday, planning, if all goes well, start date next Monday. So that's the 11th. Yeah, 11th of Jan, start date.
Yeah, 11th of January.
What you would expect on this channel in terms of tournament content will be interviews. I know that last tournament we had Percy as our media man, and he did one interview per manager on this channel. And I don't know about you, Jane, but I found them really interesting to watch.
I enjoyed the
conversation. Normally, the media man sends across 3 or 4 questions in our group chat, and then we respond. But as a live interview, I feel you can get a better reaction off the players and probably more interesting answers, to be honest. And so yeah, this year for this tournament, Chug is our media man. We got confirmation about 20 minutes ago from himself that he will take on the role. He's slightly different to Percy. He's going to bring a slightly different aspect, different angle to his media duties, which I'm looking forward to. I know what happens in that little brain of his, and I'm both impressed and scared of it. So looking forward to whatever he brings. And I know I promised in the last tournament that Dweebo will be involved in some of the streaming. But he's recently told me that the reason he was absent was due to university commitments. But now that his assignments are all handed in and exams are finished for a few months, he is committed to
I look forward to this then.
At least doing the knockouts at the bare minimum. And he said he might pop in and out of the group stage as well. So looking forward to that because he doesn't know anything about football. So
neither do I, to be honest.
True. So watching him try and commentate would be a good laugh. What else can we say?
I think that's everything covered. And I don't want it to go on too long because I don't want it to ramble, because I want it to be short and snappy so anyone who's watching it can be up to date with it, can understand it, and we haven't waffled on too long.
No, true. So if anyone's got any questions,
I'm sure they'll post it in the chat.
Put them in the chat or the comments if you're not in the chat, which I know you won't be in the chat because
either way,
millions of viewers watch this. So
millions,
comments, all that sort of stuff.
Number 1 podcast in the world.
It is. So yeah, really exciting times. I've already started scouting. I know I'm excited.
I have yet to do any scouting at all.
Well, I'm already prepared. I'm very much looking forward to this, and I'm sure everyone involved will be as well. So yeah, that's it from me. Any closing words for you, CEO?
Let's have a good tournament. It's going to be a bit different to what our normal standard is with new media team, new CEO, but it's going to be as good.
There we are. All right, we'll leave you with that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and good luck in the tourney, boys.
See you later.